let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time. No limits, no change, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. No limits, no chains, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. Every shot's a story, every cheer's a spark. Under the lights we make our mark. Beyond the scoreboard, beyond the lines. Out of the box, redefining the grind. The grind. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? You already know it is Sunday morning. It is 1:05. You're tuned into Inside the Octagon. My name is Paul Spencer. I'm with that guy right there. The very first show we ever did on this network with this guy right here, Joey Woods. Joey, how you feeling that at 1 o'clock in the morning, brother?
I'm not gonna lie, a little tired. It's worked the Eagles game today, and then trying to fight through and stay awake for this. A little tired, and not gonna lie, the main event, obviously Chimaev was dominant, but it was a little bit of a snooze fest. Not gonna lie, the complete control and dominance was not the most exciting fight, but we both pulled through it, and here we are. So let's talk some UFC.
Yeah, definitely, Joey. First, man, listen, we haven't done a show on God maybe over a year and a half here, brother. So before we get into this UFC, man, because it was a snooze fest, not a snooze fest, Joey. It happened. We seen it. We watched it. But Joey, first, man, tell me what the hell you've been up to, dude. I heard this thing called Turnbuckle Times. What's this all about, Joey?
Yeah, so me and you kind of started out of the box together, and then I was given an opportunity with uh, Edge of Philly Sports to kind of create their wrestling division, and was able to, since leaving out of the box, cover like actual press credentials for WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, stuff like that. TNA and AEW. So it was a wonderful experience. That unfortunately ceased operations. So kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, So me and a couple of our buddies started our own platform, Turnbuckle Times. It's a wrestling website. We do some UFC here and there, but predominantly wrestling. So check it out, turnbuckletimes.com. All things wrestling, all genres of wrestling.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations, Joey. Look, you were one of the hungriest guys, man. I've known you since God. You were 5 years old with my son Shane. You guys, played football together. But man, I still remember the time you fucking, goddamn, I don't know what the hell that move's called, but you put my ass down on the ground during football practice one time. So I was new. You were the wrestling person, Joey. But Joey, before we start, where can they reach out? Was there a website, Joey, and what are your tags out there so they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, so it's turnbuckletimes.com is the website. If I'm not mistaken, on X, it's Turnbuckle Times 215. If you search Turnbuckle Times, it'll come up. YouTube, same thing, and then Facebook also same thing. But predominantly, what we're trying to really push is the website. We have the other socials to kind of get the links out there for the articles, but overall, we really want the website to be the one that kind of blows up.
Oh, there we go. We'll definitely hashtag that, Joey. You know, I'm a network here since we're merged with Cole County. We'll put that up there for you as well because you're family to me, man. I've known you for, God, almost three generations now, your entire family. So we'll definitely post that up there for you. But, Joey, let's get into this UFC main card, man. First match, Joey. I was kind of happy. You know, the Japanese guy comes in. He's a two-time Rising champion, Joey. He got a first bout, debut. Got his ass beaten the first debut for a championship. He gets another main event card against a 41-year-old Tim Elliott, that who's the most weirdest fighting style I've ever seen in my life, Joey. And Joey, what in the hell? What did I see? Is Kai just overrated, overhyped? What the hell is up with this dude, Joey?
Well, is Elliot over 40? I thought he was still in his 30s. If he that's impressive. He's on the other side of 40 to do that. But I don't know. I think it's a lot of the similarities of this of the main event, right? Where on the feet, he head and shoulders above Elliot, right? But like you mentioned, Elliot has that funky style of fighting where it's hard to train for that, right? Because you can't bring in a partner to do that for a guy who is that, right? Like there's not 10 Tim Elliott's out there you can just bring in to mimic that style. So I think that played a little bit of a part. I also wonder if it's like obviously Tim Elliott's not what he once was, but maybe it was a little too much too fast, right? Like Elliott is a previous tough enough not tough enough the Ultimate Fighter winner, right? Like he's been around in the MMA game, and the betting was huge, swung to one side, which was a little shocking to me because even though Elliott is 40, 39, whatever he may be, it's still Tim Elliott, right? So I think there was a little disrespect there with that. But he got caught with a good submission, and shit happens in the MMA game. But I think early on in that fight, he was piecing him up on the feet. It's just sometimes you get caught in bad situations, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, Kai started out strong, Joey. I mean, he came out very aggressive. You know, his move. I thought he was really going to okay. He learned from the debut. You know, getting his ass kicked in the debut in the championship. Belt for the belt there. But then all of a sudden, it was just like Tim Elliott. I mean, his fighting style is unique. Kind of reminds me of more of like a Strickland, Joey, but more unorthodox. You know, you can't catch him. He tries to wait, and his reach was there. I mean, but the thing is, Joey, did you hear DC? You'll respect this one, Joey. Did you hear what DC said about his fighting style? What he called it?
Mm, I didn't hear that. What did you say?
DC comes on there and he's like, I don't know what this guy's fighting like, but he's fighting like the Notre Dame Leprechaun, the logo. I almost shit myself when I heard it because Joey, his style was like, like he looked like the Leprechaun, the Notre Dame logo. You know?
Well, there was a couple of times there where like I thought Elliot was hurt, right? Because he's doing like this weird like hunched over thing, and I'm like, I know Elliot had a funky style to begin with, but like tonight was to the extreme, right? Like I thought he was generally hurt a couple times there, the way he was throwing punches and like kind of like ducking his head. But I mean, hell, if it works, it works, right? If it gets the win, who cares what it looks like?
You're right. I thought he was playing possum a couple of times, Joey. Like, okay, is he really hurt? Because that fighting style, his hands were down, and it was like I thought he froze for a second, Joey. He's just like he just paused for a second, and I thought there was in the first round, Joey. I seen something that was kind of a little bit disrespectful to my Japanese boy out there. You know, the Karate Kid stance. He almost did something like that. He did something like he didn't lift the leg up like the Karate Kid Daniel's pose, but he did something like that. I'm like, man, this dude needs to get knocked out now for doing that shit against my Japanese fighter. You know what I mean?
Early on, I thought he was going to get the knockout. He was dominating on the feet. I don't think he went for the kill shot. It almost like he pulled back a little bit. I don't know if it was respecting Elliott too much or what, but he definitely didn't take the opportunity when it was there for him.
Yeah, I think it all changed, Joey, when when he threw that leg kick and got caught. He caught that leg kick up in the air, and then he took him down to the ground. That's when I think Kai was like, okay, I can't beat him now. He's more superior. I know how to fight this guy. But Joey, that move, man, just to finish the fight. I mean, did you see that coming out of nowhere, Joey?
Well, I mean, whenever you go on the ground with Elliott, it can happen in a moment's notice. But clearly the talent's there for him, right? I wonder if maybe a change of scenery would do him some justice. Maybe you know come over here and like some another gym or something. But something's got to change because everything is there. It's just something doesn't seem to be clicking in the ring. I don't know. It's a corner or something, but it just something's not right.
Yeah. I mean, well, speaking of Kai, I mean, 0-2, Joey, in the UFC here. Two-time Rising champion. I mean, they called him, like, in boxing, they call him Inoue, over there, the pride and joy, the prodigy of the UFC in Japan. Joey, 0-2, man. Your first two matches, you get thrown into a fire for the championship belt. You get beat there. Then you get another main card, Joey, and you get beat by Tim Elliott, Joey. Where's Kai go now?
I do think they're going to give him all the chances in the world, right? You mentioned what he's done in the past, where he's come from. He has a big following in Japan and stuff. I think they give him all the chances in the world just because, UFC loves to kind of grow talent in Mexico, in Japan, to kind of grow the fan base there, especially in 2026 with the new Paramount deal and stuff coming. I think if there's something there that they can work with, they're going to give him all the chances in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the following there, it's all name draw, Joey. And if you get that Japanese viewership overseas, you're going to give him all the shots until he fades out, where he knows he doesn't deserve it. And Dana White says, I've already milked the chicken or milked the damn cow. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what the hell I'm saying,
You're
but
milking a chicken. That's you got some problems there.
you're right, Joey. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll try anything right now. Who the hell knows? But what was your grade
Listen,
on the? What was your grade?
listen. If you're milking a chicken, that might be a male chicken. Just to let you know.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. Thank you. You're right. I got to milk. Holy shit! The shit is hitting the rails at 1 o'clock in the morning, boys.
But no. But typically UFC has like the 3 fight rule, right? Like you lose 3 fights regardless, 3 fights in a row, regardless who you are. Typically, you get your walking papers, right? So I would expect to get to at least one more fight to see where things lay, and then if he loses again, then they probably, really start to question does he belong. But I think he still gets at least one more chance.
Well, I tell you what, he better not get a main card, Joey. He needs to be on like a UFC fight night, on a Saturday night, a lower card in the Apex Center. That's what he needs to get back on track, Joey. But let's move on, Joey. Let's talk about this fight, man. Now, this fight going in here, Jared Cannonier versus, oh my God, Paige. I tell you what, Joey, Venom showed me something tonight, Joey. I mean, you go from one fighting style to Tim Elliott, then you go to Venom here. I laugh when I watch Venom fight, Joey. He was dribbling the fucking basketball in the ring. Did you see that? I mean, he's putting his hands between his legs, playing around. The dude knows how to have fun, Joey. I'll tell you that. He does know how to have fun.
Well, this is closer to the MVP that fans came to know previously, right before UFC days. I don't know if it was the talent or just the light of the UFC, but his first couple of fights in the UFC, you didn't really get to see this shine through as much as you did tonight. So it was good to see him kind of loose in there and showing what he has. And like they said, even in this division that he's in now, he's still a big guy, right? Like he's still long and lanky, even for this division. So, I definitely think he could climb the ranks. After what we saw tonight, clearly, I don't think he's going to be in the title picture just because I don't know if he's able to defend takedowns against Chimaev. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But, I could see him get up there like 5'6" range and kind of stay around that area. He's definitely talented enough. It's just different, right? He's about scoring points, right? He's not about knocking you out. He's about winning on the scorecard and not taking damage. And that's frustrating for fighters, right? Where a lot of these guys are going in there for a knockout to collect that bonus. He's like the matador, right? He's coming in there to hit you with a jab and then run away, right? So it's interesting to watch. Sometimes it can be boring, but because of what he does with, like you said, like the taunting and stuff like that, it makes it entertaining.
And Joe, you said the perfect word, matador. There was a couple times in this fight where, Cannonier just went for a takedown to get the piece there, to get the ground control, and Page just moved to the side like a matador, like in one of those bullfights. He looked like that at half the times, Joe, and you're 100% right. I mean, he is so tall and lengthy, Joey. If he could defend the takedowns, Joey, and be elite, this guy with his height, his reach, he could be something special, Joey. I mean, this is where he should be, but I think he should have been here a long time ago, Joe, in this welterweight division. But he's got a lot of work on that his ground game, Joey, because he almost lost it when he tried for that Superman punch and he missed it and he got taken down. I mean, if Cannonier, I don't understand, Joey, why Cannonier had him on the ground and he didn't go for the piece up. I mean, he just laid there on top. Joey, that size when you have Cannonier, why didn't you just go ahead and beat the hell out of him? Why? What did he see, Joey? What did Cannonier do?
That's a recurring theme of the night, though, right? Like having control and not taking advantage of it. I wonder. I mean, at that point, you had to know you were down 2-0, right? Like, I get when you're overzealous in a fight, you can lose control, you can lose positioning, but at the same time, you're down 2-0. You got to take a risk. So I get what you're saying in terms of go for broke. You're down. You're not winning the fight. Even if you would have ended up with top control and like he did, clearly we saw that it wasn't enough to win the fight. So who cares if you lose that position? So that was a little head scratching, but I also wonder. I mean, talk about age. Isn't Cantonier 42? Like, I wonder if that played a little bit of a part too. But yeah, it's interesting to see where they book him next and for MVP and see where he ends up in the rankings. But I would say you got to give him someone in the top 10 at this point. He's a name. You can put him on the main card right away. People want to see him fight. So definitely got to give him a top 10 fight again.
Yeah, I agree. I think he has to be in the top 10 now. I mean, what was Cannonier? 6 or 8, I believe, tonight after going in tonight. He should be out of the top 10 now. But, Joey, even on the other side, it's like you said, it was a theme tonight. Ground to pound, get ground control is going to win you the fight. We've seen that, which we'll talk about in the last match. But even Venom Page tonight, Joey, he struck Cannonier with that huge right twice and didn't even go for the ground, Joey. He just let him stand up. And, like, the one time I think he did the moonwalk after he had him on the ground. I'm like, what? At this point it was round 2 when he did it, Joey. But in your case, in round 3, you're down 0-2, Joey. Who cares if you give up that move, that position? You got to go for broke. You got to get the win here. Submit or KO. That's your only chance to win. And he gave it up. He just said, you know what? Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay with the loss. I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, like again, I don't know what he was doing there, but listen, hats off to MVP. He was able to frustrate him and keep him guessing and swinging at air, and I'm interested to see who they match up with him next.
Yeah, I mean, thank God, he got out of that guillotine. I mean, Cannonier had him in a guillotine attempt. I mean, thank God he slipped out of that one. Otherwise, Joey, we've seen it so many times. A 3-round fight, you might win the fight for 14 minutes and 55 seconds. That last 5 seconds, you don't know what the hell's happened. I mean, but how would you grade that fight, Joey? I mean, what was that? What was that on your card?
Um, I mean, it was entertaining, but I think maybe MVP should have went a little bit harder for the finish. So I'll give him like a B minus.
Yeah, B minus. That's where I'm at too. I mean, it was to me, if you never seen UFC before and you've turned on that fight, you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. This is showmanship. This is showboating. That's what I seen from MVP tonight. But that's what sells. I mean, that's his fighting style. He gets in your head. He plays with your mind. And it worked. But let's move on to the next one here, Joey. Carlos Prates versus Jeff Neal, Joey. What was your take going into this fight first, Joey?
Honestly, I when I did my bet tonight, I took Neil just because of how big of an underdog he was. You kind of had to put the money on him. I I personally feel like Neil has some of the best boxing in the UFC, so it was shocking to see how much he got pieced up on the feet. In the beginning, he had some success, and then all of a sudden, it looked like uh, Proctor turned it on, and you know was able to open the floodgates, and the knockout was sensational. But this fight was shocking. I think we have a legit contender here. I mean, losing to Ian Gary, his last fight, who's a top echelon fighter, I think the sky's the limit for this guy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Prate's coming into the fight. I mean, I agree with you. Neil had his pieces, Joey. He had his opportunity to do something, but Carlos had just he put his foot on the gas, Joey, and he just took away what Jeff Neal was better at. The leg kicks. I mean, he was hurting that leg, to the point where like, holy shit, I don't think he'd be that aggressive anymore. He took it to him, and you're right. That oh my God, Joey, that spinning. Oh my God, that back fist, Joey.
The
Holy crap.
the fight changed when Neil started allowing him to press forward. Right, early in the fight, Neil had success when he was the one closing the distance and kind of fighting in the phone booth. But when Neil started to feel those leg kicks, I think that's what kind of caused it. The leg kicks kind of had Neil second guessing pressing in. When that happened, Neil started to fight off his back foot. That's when Neil started to get pieced up on the feet, and that's where it was the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. When he was getting the leg pieces in there, I mean, he was being aggressive. He had Octagon control, Joey. The inside of the ring was his. But when you're getting those leg kicks, it does take away from your aggressiveness. You can't pursue that speed anymore. And Prates just had the legs, Joey. I mean, he was doing his business, but I like the size of Carlos Prate, though. I really do. I think he could do some damage if he's aggressive like this. I mean, on his feet with the leg kicks and everything. But did you see that spinning back fist coming out of nowhere, Joey? Did you expect that? At what time did that happen? Holy crap! You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was insane. And I think like when he went down, there was like 2 seconds left, and then you heard the bell ring, and you just knew it was over at that point. It was impressive. The sound of the connection was was a little shocking. I think they played it a couple times, and it was crazy to hear. But all around impressive. I don't know, in the top of the division, who's going to be calling that guy out because he's a scary opponent to fight. And you talk about his size, right? He was very lanky for that division. I think if weight cuts ever become a problem, uh, a move up could easily benefit him, put on a little bit more muscle mass, and make those strikes hit even harder. But for now, I don't think he has any problems with this division. So we'll see where he goes. Sky's the limit for him. I would love to see all of his fights. Looking at what he's done since he's been in the UFC, KO, TKO, like they've been impressive, right? I would like to see kind of his his moxie when his back's on the cage or his back's on the canvas and kind of how he does that. But overall, I think he could be a champion someday.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think he could be. I mean, I like to see him in this division of what he can do. In his last fights, Joe. I mean, he's that type of fighter. If he puts this together, he could do some damage. But I just like you said with that hit, Joey, when they replayed that sound, at first I really didn't think it was a big hit, Joey, because they said he clearly got him. But to me, it looked like near the like the jaw, not on the jaw, but back by the ear. But when I heard that, I muted everything and I turned it up real loud just to hear it again. Joey, that felt to me like a bone popped or something, like a jaw
Yeah.
broke. It was nasty, but man, I tell you what, Joey, during that hit though, I thought with 2 seconds to go, it looked like it was just a desperation backspin, back fist there. But to me, Neil looked like he just leaned into it, like he was trying to get control or something, because he leaned into that, which made it worse. Because if he didn't lean into it, he would have never connected on that. Not at all.
Is is that 170? Was that the division that they were fighting today? Was that 170? You're muted.
I'm sorry there. Yeah, it was welterweight. 170, isn't it? 160, 165, isn't it? Because Chimaev weighed in at 168 today, or 165, I think it was.
No, the main event was 185.
Oh, 185. What am I thinking? Damn, it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he weighed in 183.
183.
But I mean, a fun fight that talk about. Obviously, I don't know why he would agree to it because he's arguably next in line for the title or maybe one fight away. But Sean Brady. I would love to see, with his style and his grappling, striker versus grappler, and see where that went. But it's gonna be interesting to see who's willing to fight a guy who's currently outside of the rankings. Obviously, he'll be ranked after this fight, but you don't just go from unranked to top 10 like that, right? So, a guy who's probably gonna be outside the top 10, I don't know why anyone within the top 10 would be willing to fight him.
I mean, yeah, you have everything. You don't have anything to lose, but everything to gain, Joey. Of course, in that situation. But Joey, before you said that, you want a striker versus grappler. Careful what you wish for. When we seen it at the main event here, Joey, and it was kind of boring according to you, right? So I don't know. What do you think?
A striker versus a grappler where the striker has a little bit of defense. A little bit.
Okay, a little bit, Joey. A little bit. Okay, I got you. I got you. All right, so let's move on to this other fight, Joey. Before the show, Joey, a little bit earlier tonight, I texted you and said, "What's your take on Aaron Pico?" What was your take on him going into this fight, Joey? Before we seen what happened.
I mean, he was the prized possession, right? If you remember back years ago when he made his debut at Bellator, I believe he was like 19. They were hyping him up as like the next big thing. He came out and got shellacked that first fight. He was able to find his footing, but he got beat up pretty bad that first fight. Uh, this fight wasn't like he got beat up. He just got caught, right? Like I feel like he was controlling the fight overall. He's a wrestler, great boxing, He has all the tools to be a big thing, and clearly fighting someone in where he did in the rankings shows you what the UFC thinks of him. Again, UFC is a whole new ball game. First fight being the co-main event again shows you what they think of him. I don't think this hurts him as much as people think. I think the way he lost the fight, he was controlling the fight. He just got caught. I still think he's gonna be up there uh next time around.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, in the beginning of the fight, Joey, I'm like, okay, this kid is living up to his hype. I mean, the first 2 minutes of the fight, Joey, he was aggressive. He looked for the takedowns. He reminds me of Pit Bull, that kind of fighter coming over that has the hype. He lived up to it the first 2.5 minutes, Joey, but until that guillotine attempt, that's when it all went like, okay, well, it's going a little bit down here. But you're right, he got caught. He didn't get his ass beat, Joey. He didn't. He fought a good match. I mean, being his first one here, but that's back to back spinning back kicks. I mean, back fists is what we've seen tonight. He got caught at the wrong time, but we look at Pitbull, his first fight, Joey, when he came over. He lost, then he won his second fight. I don't think he's going to be, just like you said, the name ticket. The hype machine is still here. I think he's going to be okay. I mean, once he learns a little bit, Joey, maybe. I think his cardio is not the question. I think it's just, the veteran experience in a UFC ring. Once he learns tendencies, flows, techniques, I think the kid will be good because Joey, he has the motor to me. I like watching him fight. I really did. I'm just pissed off because that was the only fight I freaking lost, and all I needed him to do was get out of the first round, Joey. That was it. That's all I needed, and he couldn't do that.
I think it was a little bit of adrenaline too, right? I think co-main eventing your first fight in the UFC, like we're talking about. Not saying that other companies aren't the big league, but we're talking about the biggest promotion in the world, and you're co-main eventing right on a card of this caliber. So I think it was like he might have been pressing a little bit, right? Like maybe in a regular ordinary fight, he's not continuing that pressure. He's allowing some space there, and he doesn't get caught like that. So I think that plays a factor too. He was trying to put on a show for the fans, and unfortunately, it backfired.
Joey, that's a good point that you said there. I mean, you're coming on a co-main event card here, stacked with DuPlessis and Chimaev. That is a huge name right there. You're co-maining this fight that people have been waiting for years and years to see. You're co-maining this in your debut. I think the adrenaline was there, Joey. Like that's why he came out like bat out of hell. Put it all on the line there, and just got caught. And maybe two fights down the line, Joey, he comes out aggressive like that, and he's not going to get caught with a back fist like that. He'll know, he'll learn. But I agree, Joey. I think it was adrenaline. But how far do you think this kid can go? I mean, we've seen what he's doing in his debut. He got caught tonight, Joey. That's all it was. How far do you see? Where do you put him now? Is he a prelim fighter now on the next card? Is he a fight night guy, or can he make the draw and get a main card, a lower end main card, beginning match?
I think right now with the way he fought and who he fought and the way he got caught like that, I think you could easily make him like a headliner if you're putting him on a pay-per-view card, a headliner on the final prelims, right? Like the prelims that are on ESPN. Maybe he headlines that, or he opens a show, right? I still think he is a big deal 'cause I think he can still be a champion within the UFC. You just gotta start stacking some wins. I think they were trying to fast track him at that point, you know. So we'll see, but yeah, I just think he can win the belt one day.
Yeah, I agree with that one too. I think he just needs that time in the octagon. Get some ring time in there, of course. But let's move on to this main event, Joey. Okay, where do we start, Joey? I mean, Joey, we've done this show many of times before, and we've always talked about putting on a show, getting the TKO, getting the submission. But a lot of times, Joey, we watch these judges and we say, how the hell did he win with just ground control? Joey, ground control tonight, over 23 minutes out of 25 minutes of ground control from Chimaev. Joey, go ahead. Go ahead and ramp. Go ahead. Let me know.
I mean, I get the ground control right, and that's impressive. But like, when you got a guy in a guillotine, not a guillotine,
Crucifix.
crucifix, three different times, and you're hitting him with little pity pat punches. Like it gets frustrating as a fan, right? Like there were so many opportunities for him to go for that like kind of knockout blow and it just never pulled through. Like, you always talk about how much of a wolf you are and stuff like that, but then push comes to shove, you didn't kind of take any of those opportunities. And I get it, it's MMA, it's all aspects of fighting, right? And ground game is one of them. And I'm a fan of the ground game, don't get me wrong, but when you're not doing any real damage, like I'm glad the refs stand them up a couple times because to me it gets frustrating, like I don't know, but I don't think you can blame Jemima as much as it's DDP's fault. He had no answers to any of the takedown attempts. I think he maybe stuffed one takedown the entire fight. I mean, it's on him. You knew what he was gonna do coming into it, and you had no answer for it. So, as much as we can sit here and point fingers, the fingers has to go to the champion. He did nothing to defend it. If I can come in there and 20 seconds into the round, every round, take you down and control you, why not? Why not? It's your job as the champion to adjust and stop the takedowns.
100% Joey. First thing, that first round, it was 14 seconds before his first takedown. Round two was 10 seconds, Joey. And I agree with you. I looked at after the first two rounds, Joey. It was 180 strikes on the ground versus 11. But out of those 180, Joey, I'm going to tell you maybe 175 of them I could take in the ring. Just laying there on my back like that. They were nothing. The crucifix, when you got a guy in the crucifix and you ain't doing a damn thing, I mean, his arm was totally locked up on the side. He had clear option to put that. He laid the elbow a couple times. That was it. You didn't go for the kill, Joey, but you're 100% right. You got to blame the champion because you knew this fight 3 and 4 months prior, Joey. Why don't you bring in the world's best wrestler? You know what you're getting into. You didn't. You couldn't defend a takedown. I think I counted 14 out of 15 takedowns by Chimaev, Joey. 14 out of 15 takedowns, Joey.
If I'm in UFC, I'm a little bit worried about this outcome, right? Because here's the thing, like DDP doesn't pull out of fights. He makes weight. He's always willing to fight. And then you got a guy like Chimaev who doesn't have the best track record. Some of it was illness, some of it was out of his control, but he has missed fights. He has pulled out of fights. I mean, you think about all the missed opportunities that there is in his career. He has so little fights in the UFC because of pullouts. So I just think like I don't know, to have the belt on him now, it's like fingers crossed that he can make some of these fights. So we'll see. But looking at the rankings and stuff, I don't know what's next here. Honestly, it'll be interesting to see. I just don't know.
I agree with you, Joey. To me, he's like a bully. Honestly, he with the COVID situation, I get that. He damn near retired on the internet. I retire from the COVID bullshit. Scare him and dying. But I 100% agree with you. I don't know. Joey, I know you're a big, wrestling, you're the biggest wrestling fan I know. To me, he's like the John Cena or the Roman Reigns of back in the day. You don't know when he's going to show up. Brock Lesnar, he's a champ. We don't know when he's going to show up. He's the main attraction. That's Chimaev to me, Joey. I don't know if we see him. God, Joey, real fighters fight every 5 months on the UFC main card, Joey, for the title. You look at all these fighters that do that. I don't know if we see him until God, say UFC maybe 25, maybe 6 months, 7 months down the line. That's not what I want to see. He is one of my favorite fighters, but I want to see a guy that goes in the ring and to me like the old school Rock, the people's champ. That's what I want to see, Joey. I want to see a guy defend that belt when a newcomer comes up. Next man, you get called out. Don't punk out. Don't say I can't make weight or don't pull out of that. Go fight the next dude. That's what I want to see, Joey. DuPlessis would do it. If you get call him out, he'll fight.
Well, here's the good thing, right? It's he didn't take much damage at all. So he should it shouldn't be a huge wait in between fights, right? Like typically fighters get X amount X amount of time suspension in between fights, typically like 90 days. He shouldn't even get that because he had little or no damage taken at all, right? So this should be a fast turnaround for him.
Yeah, but that's going to be stipulation of the champ, though. Dana White can say make it happen, but that's on Chamai to say, when it happens, though, right? I mean, that's his take. He calls that shot, right?
Well, at the heavier weight class now, he shouldn't. I mean, one of the problems before was making weight, right? He shouldn't have that issue now that he's at the heavier weight class. So obviously, COVID and the illnesses that were affecting him could still rear its head. But as long as that doesn't play a factor going forward, there shouldn't be anything stopping him, right? You want it to be champion. Champion now takes on all and any incomers. So here you go. You know what I mean? Don't be ducking any fights. I'm not saying he ever did that, but you know, we'll see.
If the rematch happens, I mean, Duplessis did say,
There's no rematch.
you don't think there's going to be a rematch. You don't think so.
No chance.
Does he deserve one, though?
No.
No. Why? Why do you say he doesn't deserve? Joey, he didn't, just like you said, he didn't take damage, Joey. It was 23 minutes of ground control with 450 strikes, but let's say 400 of them landed, if that, Joey.
Because the level of wrestling that he's going to need to even, be competitive in the fight, it's not going to happen in a year. It that would take years after what I saw today to get up to that level of wrestling, and I just don't know if the outcome would change. Like if it was a close fight and he lost, I'd be like, okay, he has a shot, but there is no shot in the world that he wins a rematch. So why do it?
I do agree with you that point, Joey. But if he can't beat him, Joey, because that wrestling is just so superior from Chamaya, who can beat him, Joey? Because Joey, I never thought I would. I thought Chamaya would be able to ragdoll him a little bit, Joey, keep him on the ground a little bit, Joey. But 14 out of 15 takedowns in over 23 minutes of ground control, Joey, who can wrestle Chamaya? Honestly.
I'm honestly gonna have to look at the rankings and kind of go through this, but at this point I don't have an answer.
I don't either, Joey. I don't even have an answer for this because the way he looked tonight, I mean, hats off to him. I thought in the fifth round, Joey, when he was standing up a little bit, I thought we were going to see like a Max Holloway thing, like a little earlier point down or something where Jemiah actually stood up for a second. But then, the genius IQ, kicked in and said, I'm up for nothing. Anything can happen in the last minute here. I'm just going to take him down for the 15th time and just secure this fight. But at the very end, did you think that Duplessis could have got that guillotine on him? It was
Well,
locked in a little bit. It was locked in a little bit, Joey.
but here's the thing, right? Like he tried a little bit too long, right? The second that you realize that it wasn't going to be locked in, should have been switching positions and throwing some haymakers or something. Go for broke. Again, you were down all 4 rounds. Go for broke.
I agree 100%. I mean, even DC said it. You're down 4-0. You got to throw something out there. Just like you said earlier, give up the position. If you lose the position, you already lost, man. You already lost by unanimous decision. At least go out. We know 30 seconds, a minute left, and try to secure shit. Get a spinning back fist. Get something because tonight it was just basic love taps on top position, held by a crucifix. I think the crucifix was in place for what? A total of what? Almost 5-6 minutes tonight
Yeah,
total time. I mean, that's all it was, Joey.
yeah. I mean, not much to talk about in this fight, unfortunately. Thought it was gonna be a little more fireworks, but yeah. I don't blame Chimaev if you're getting little or no resistance on the takedown attempts. Why not keep it going? Why would you stop doing what's successful because you're getting booed by the crowd? You know what I mean? Like you're there to win the fight. If the path to least resistance is taking them down and hitting them with pity patty, then that's what you do. You do whatever it takes to win the fight.
Joe, that's 100% correct. I mean, you look at Bo Nichols, he's a tremendous wrestler out of Penn State. His first fights, he just had ground control, beat you on the ground. I forgot who he fought last time and lost, Joey, because he didn't take him to the ground. He stood up with him. Do you remember that fight, who he fought?
I forget who he fought off the top of my head, but I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he stood up with him, Joey. You know what? Hey, it doesn't matter if you get booed. You know what? You're going to get the win. You do what you need to do. I got to give credit to Chimaev because he did what he's best at. He's the best in the world with it. And you can boo him all you want, but man, he's the and new champion in division, Joey. And it's going to take somebody special to beat this dude, Joey. It could be a long time, but real quick, Joey, I think we should do this, a couple more times. Maybe the pay-per-views we'll start doing again if you're welcome to that because UFC 320, Joey. Chama, Ankalaev. What's your take?
What is the 320 fight?
Ankalaev Piera. I think it's 320, isn't it? Or no, 321. I'm sorry, 321. That's in August. They're coming in August, or 2 months down the line. I'm sorry,
That's October, right?
October. Yeah, that's right.
What's 320?
Holy shit! Let me look real quick. Let's see here. UFC 320. Let's see. Damn, you get old, you can't even see the damn phone anymore. Oh, Lord. The main card, Joey. Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. Magomedov versus Joe Pfeiffer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main card there. And then the other Pierres is the one after that, 321.
What's the main event?
Roundtree. Roundtree is the main event.
Of 320?
Yeah. Yes, Joey. Yes. Yes. No, wait, hold on, wait, oh shit, wait. No, the main event is Ankalaev. No, wait, no, 320 is Joey. It's October 4th. Ankalaev versus Piera.
So there's no pay-per-view in September.
No, no, this is October 4th. Next one, we're at 319 now. We're on 320 next. We have Ankalaev versus Piera. Co-main event, Dervishili versus Curry Sanhagen, and then we have Yuri versus Roundtree.
Okay, that's a good card.
That's a good card, though. That's a good card.
Yeah.
Does Pierre get something back here? I mean, does he? What happens to him?
I think he gets on back. I think he knows now what to expect. I think the first fight was very hesitant to throw because of the takedowns, but I think now he sees that he can handle it. I think he throws a little more.
I agree. I think Pierre retains this one. I think gets it back. I think he does. Learn from your mistakes. He is the type fighter, Joey, that he can adapt to anything after a loss. I think he retains it back here. But Joey, it was a pleasure doing this show with you, man. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, man. Only real crazy people that watch UFC stay up this late and talk UFC, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm tired.
Yeah, I hear you. But Joey, once again, man, tell everybody about Turnbuckle Times. What's the website? What's it called? So we can get that out there as well.
Yeah, it's just turnbuckletimes.com. Check out everything on there, all the results and previews for big wrestling events all around the world.
Gotcha. Wasn't there a wrestling event on tonight, Joey? Something about Triple H or something like that? Wasn't it? Because everybody was talking about in the group chat today.
Yeah, it was Triple Mania in Mexico, which WWE now bought. So it was on, I believe, on WWE's YouTube page.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been watching in a while, Joey. I mean, I haven't watched wrestling. I chime in about it, but I really don't talk about it as much, you know. I don't know. But Joey, man, how about we do this? How about we take a month off because next week's card is not really big. It's UFC, fight night, of course. But how about we get together for 320 and do this again, brother?
Sounds good.
All right, guys. My name is Paul Spencer. That man right there is Joey Woods, the OG of UFC, WWE. Make sure you check him out at Turnbuckle Times for all the wrestling needs out there. And Joey, that website is turnbuckletimes.com, correct?
That is correct.
There you go. My name is Paul Spencer. That is Joey. Thanks for tuning in for the Inside the Octagon at 2 o'clock in the morning. Until then, we'll see you guys later and have a great night.
Game strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time. No limits, no chains, no walls to climb.